Well, hey there. I didn't even hear you come in. Might as well teach you about some panel mics. First thing you're going to need are some XLRs. Depending on how many panel mics you're setting up determines how many XLRs you need. In this setup, we're going to be setting up 2 panel mics. So we're going to need 2 XLR cables. All right, the next thing you're going to need is the snake box. You can find it in this general location. Today it's in the crate. And here it is. And most importantly, you're going to need a couple of panel mics. Let's go ahead and grab these. You want to make sure that the panel mics that you use are all the same size, if you can try. For example, do not grab this extremely tall one with this extremely short one when you only have 2 panel mics to set up. Grab, 2, same size. All right, so I brought my 2 panel mics to the table. And for this setup, the client asked for 2 panel mics, so you just evenly disperse them about the table, depending on how many there are. The next step is going to be just unraveling the cable here around the panel mic, taking off the Velcro, undoing it. There's a few things that you want to make sure you do when setting up the mic on the table. First of all, this piece of Velcro needs to not be seen, not be visible. Make it invisible, no. So you need to just slide it to the end and then slide the XLR and the cable between the skirt for the table and the tabletop, just like this. Something important to note is you don't want it to be taut. You don't want the cable to be really tight, because if a person's sitting really far back in their chair, they can't pull on the mic. So generally we leave a little coil like this on the table. And you'll do the same for this mic. Next thing you're going to do is grab the snake box here, put it under the table, and plug it into the wall. So here's the box that you're going to be plugging the mics into. The box is labeled 1 through 12, just 12 channels for the box. Typically, we plug our panel mics in starting from channel 7 and going forward, just because those are the 2 empty channels on the rack. Once you get more comfortable with the rack and the equipment, you can make up your mind on where you want to plug these microphones into, but for now we're going to start with just plugging into channels 7 and 8 for these 2 microphones. So here we are under the table with the box. Like I said before, we're going to take the XLRs and plug them into channels 7 and 8. So just pretty straightforward, plug them in. All right, now the decision to plug in the panel microphone that is furthest to the stage right, or when facing the stage far left, into channel 7 is no coincidence. We want the panel microphone that's furthest to the left when facing the stage to be plugged into the lowest channel, because when you look at the rack, you want to look at it like you're reading a book. So you want the lowest channel for the left-hand panel mic when facing the stage. So after you have fully concealed the snake box and pushed it completely under the table, you're just going to grab your coil here, walk it back behind the stage, and lay it down flat right to the wall over here. All of these XLRs are labeled corresponding to their input on the box. I found 7 and 8 because that's where I plugged in the panel mics. And now I'm going to take 7 and 8 and plug them into channels 7 and 8 on the wall right here. Next, you're going to walk to the back of the room or wherever the rack is located and plug in an XLR to the first open channel, which is generally channel 7, like we said earlier. It's also labeled on the rack as pan 1 for panel. Once that's in there tightly, you're going to bring it around All right, so we've brought the cable around here, and you're just going to uncoil it, set the coil down on top of the other coils, and plug it into channel 7. Repeat for channel 8 or however many desired channels there are. One final step to ensure that the panel microphones are receiving power is to make sure that the phantom power button is pushed down. Right now it's raised, so it's not pushed down. So you just Go ahead and push that down. Same for channel 8 since we had 2 microphones. And now they should be all set with the blue light, which we'll go check right now. All right, one final step in ensuring that the panel mics are ready to go is that the power source is connected to the panel mic. All you need to do is push this button and a blue light should come on. So this guy's all ready for testing.